Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we have our 1K special, which again, thank you everyone, much appreciated. So we'll just be taking a kind of a look back at the old series that have, since passed, have finished, out of sight now, out of mind. A little bit of behind the scenes on some just random stuff I'm sure I'll come up with. My plan is today will kind of be a much more laid back type thing. For the most part my videos are, but even more laid back. Just chill. I know I said I was thinking about doing a live stream or a video. And in the end the video ended up making more sense. So that's why I'm here. And of course, first things first, we'll be starting on the survival challenge, which was the very first series on the channel, which is over a year and a half ago now. Long time ago. And of course we have the perfect tractor to do the tour on. I have the Farm All M here. I don't know how many people would recognize this or remember the times, but this was the tractor we started with quite some time ago now. And actually, I don't know if I ever explained the reason why I began with this. It's actually because I remember growing up, I think it was my dad had a Farm All B, which obviously this is an M, but it looked fairly similar to this. There's obviously some differences and stuff, but it kind of made me want to go with a classic Farm All tractor from that. I just remember that, and as soon as I saw this when I was going through mods, I was like, yep, that's the one. Right around 50 horsepower. That's the exact one that's going to be, fitting perfect for this. Because I remember, this is going to take a while to get here. I didn't think this one through. I remember it took me like a day or two to actually come up with like the beginning map and the equipment and everything. I looked at several maps to begin with, which I ended up falling onto No Man's Land because, well, hey, it's a heck of a good map. Perfect for survival challenge, that is for certain. And I don't think there was a lot of people doing survival challenges on it at the time, which also made me want to do it a little bit more because the map originally came out in Farming Sim 19, which 19 is a long time ago now. We got 25 coming out soon now. I'm recording this literally the day after the live stream trailer came out, which I'd be curious what everybody thought about that. So leave your thoughts down below, but I thought it was good. That's just my opinion. Well, here we are. We're finally kind of showing up onto the farm now. Now this save is from a couple episodes before the finale. So obviously there's some silage bales here. This is where we always had them. For the most part, I think we always did silage here. Outside like the first time, maybe the couple times, we still had them in the back grass field. Of course, the grape production, right into the raisins, because raisins were a little bit more money. Obviously the beginning shed is still here, but we did add this shed later on, which stayed the test of time. The cows, of course, which was an upgrade eventually down the line. Our massive combine. We had some pretty big equipment on here, honestly. We really did. Really big equipment. Of course, our large chicken pen, the house, but yeah, that's our house upgrade at some point. Obviously, we got all the fields. The maple syrup, which was our first production on here. The grass field that kept expanding and expanding. We'll go through the air a little bit better. Of course, the expanded silos that we did. The greenhouse, which originally was mushrooms, which is a exclusive type, mod, a part of the map. It's not realistic for selling. Oh, and then we got the bridge, which the main reason I did this bridge, actually, I remember, I think it was Farming Sim 19. I remember watching Daggerwin, I believe, who did No Man's Land for Survival Challenge. I think he had a path. He either had a bridge and then a path around or something like that. And I saw that. I'm like, I want to do something similar, but I want to make it better. So I was like, yep, we got to go make a road through the woods. And honestly, I was quite proud of how it ended up working out. We ended up having to use 2 bridges to actually make this work, which you can kind of tell that it's overlapped in some spots. Mainly right there. That's mainly the only spot. Yeah, this, of course, was the beginning of, the channel, really. Outside of the many, many attempts that I had in the past, and of course our large soybean field that we did. Towards the end, I think that was final... I'm zone 75, I think, was when we bought that land. But yeah, a little history. Originally, many, many years ago, this was probably 10 plus years ago, I did, I think, Minecraft at one point. I think RuneScape was on the channel at one time. This was a long time ago. The channel had a different name. I might still have some of them, some of the videos like privated. So maybe at some point when we'll hit another milestone, maybe I can bring those back and we can react to how bad they probably were. They were not great. There was another time I tried another gaming thing too. So I always enjoyed doing YouTube, and I always wanted to, make something out of it in a sense. Now this grass field, I think originally we had this. This was grass here, actually. Yeah, it just made most sense to put it there. Which this got expanded. This here was 2 different fields at one time. And I think there was a field here, and this was where I did I had 2 separate planters that were planting at the same time. I had different crops. So if you're ever wondering where I make that joke from, or when I talk about that, and I think I did in the new survival challenge, and why I don't want to have 2 drills at the same time, it happened there. I put 2 different crops in at the same time. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Of course, this was early enough on. We had all of the trees still here. The nice forest that I planted at some point. I don't remember exactly when. First piece of land was here. The bees. Gotta love the bees. Gotta love the bees. Well, I think that's probably not too bad of a look at Survival Challenge. I mean, the first Survival Challenge. It was a heck of a good series. Kickstarted the channel in many, many ways. Originally, reason why I started my channel, actually, is I really enjoyed watching Dagerwin's Survival Challenge he was doing on Calmlands, which is where we're doing Survival Challenge 2 on, believe it or not. Yeah, he was probably a big inspiration for my channel and starting doing farm and sim content, which I like to think I try to make videos in a, kind of similar in a way. You might be able to tell. I try to do my own thing too, because I don't want to be a copycat. But I still try to change things up. But he always has that pretty mellow, chill, laid back type videos, and I try to do the same thing. You get back from work for a long day, you can sit down and watch a good video, and it'll be a good time. But yeah, that's part of the reason why I started the channel. Was originally I really want to do Survival Challenge, and my brother, he knew I watched a lot of Dagerwin. So I just got back into Farming Sim, and I was watching like old stuff, old playlists and stuff like that. He's like, "Well, why don't you make videos yourself?" I'm like, "Well, that's a good point." Because I had at that time was trying to consider what I wanted to do for YouTube. And it made a lot of sense because I always enjoyed Farming Sim. Farming Sim 22, of course, has the most hours in it. I'm going to start switching over to Edgewater, I think. Yeah, this was obviously a huge series for us. Grape Orchard, yeah, that's a good mod. Maple syrup sales. The multiple bee houses, which I need to do in the new survival challenge. I do need to do those. Massive fields. This was a great idea. I remember when I did this. Like a $200,000 or $300,000 every harvest type deal. It was quite nice. It's quite nice. Yeah, I'll start switching over to Edgewater now. I think it's a good time. I'm not trying to keep everybody here all day long. But anyways, um yeah, that's part of the reason why I started the channel many moons ago at this point. Not really started, but started doing Farm and Sim. I didn't mean to save that, but oh well. um was because he had brought up, he's like, well, why don't you do it yourself? And then I had I don't need here's Edgewater. If you want to see how many mods I have, quite a few. Quite a few. Um and then of course I was trying to figure out, okay, how am I gonna do this and all that other fun stuff. So in many aspects, I think we can thank him as well as probably Daggerwin for making, being the inspiration and giving me the idea from him for doing Farming Sim content in the first place. And yeah, because I always enjoyed simulator games. I've played most Farming Sims since 15. Most of those I had like 50 to 100 hours in, somewhere in there. I don't think I had too many in 19. I did, Farming Sim 19 was a PS Plus game for PlayStation. I remember doing the Platinum Trophy on it. But yeah, 22 now, I have like 650 hours in. Of course, 25, we're going to be doing a lot more than 650, I'm sure. Yeah, let's get that turned on to flight mode and everything. Oh, of course, the corn header, which I always kept the headers back here for some reason. Now, this series was where we first did a lot of cows. I do remember that. I think it was the first time we did cows. And the TMR was different because I think it was corn and... was it silage or hay? I think it was hay. I think. I might be wrong. I might be horribly wrong. I'm not sure if we have it here. I suppose I can't get into equipment, but still, I remember that was a unique thing with this series, which main reason I did this series was because I was looking to do a second series concurrent with Survival Challenge, and this map had just came out, and is Canadian, which, a lot of the farming styles are similar to North American, which the US of A is where I'm from, so of course that's kind of what I not know, but would know better than, other countries have very different ways to do things, which I'm sure we'll be learning about in Farming Sim 25 with what looks to be rice and stuff. Which is, I'm really looking forward to it. I really am. Yeah, this was our big start into animals. We might have did like chickens and sheep maybe on Survival Challenge, but I remember we started with these 3 fields. We expanded here. For some reason, we bought one down here. I don't remember why. I think it had good yields. I do remember us doing productions. This was where we first started them. We really didn't do productions before we started doing this stuff. Which was where we got sugar beets, which should be in here. No, that's sorghum. Never mind. We have sugar beets somewhere, I'm sure. Probably here. Yeah. Yeah, which then we carried over into doing chocolate, which was our big thing. Because we did the dairy, did cheese and butter. And eventually, of course, we wanted to do the chocolate as well. Oh, hey, look at that. We got some of the pallets back here. Oh, here's a pallet of chocolate. Speaking of it, it's right there. And of course, the unique thing with this series I remember was like swathing. The big thing with this map. And this was also the first time I did precision farming. I very fondly remember watching about 2 hours of YouTube videos on it. I think it was Farmer Cop and somebody else. I don't remember them off the top of my head. I do apologize there about precision farming, because I was like, I really wanted to add it into a series, but I didn't want to seem like I had no idea what was going on, which was true. I didn't know what was going on. I was figuring it out as I went, in a sense. But I had a decent idea of how to do things because of that, which, again, if you ever need to know how to do certain things in Farming Sim, look up a video. There are excellent, excellent videos probably on it already. So, yeah, this is, was it lentils, flax, and peas? And peas was huge for us. And lentils looks like, too. 233,000. Woohoo. But we must have got a lot from peas. I think, oh, yep, the semi is over here. I was wondering what was over here. So we did the harvest in this at some point, and 27,000 liters of peas are in here. But yeah, a lot of cases, these saves were made, like, when I was wrapping stuff up. So when we still had most items. There is something with the Zelanka one, which I'll mention when I get there. But, yeah, then this one ended to go into Court Farm when that one came out. Which at one point, I think we had like 3 series going on, because I was still wrapping this up, which I had the videos done. I was just wrapping them up slowly. Yeah, this series also, this is more of a fun, not really a fond memory for me. This series where I record a video and the encoder on my old graphics card started giving me a bunch of errors on it. I do remember that. I think I ended up switching with like an old GPU my brother had. Now I built a new one. And this was also when I was starting to do 4 videos a week too. I remember I was trying to test, kind of see how many I could do. And I went to do 3 at one point. And eventually I went to 4. Because for the longest time, I never was ahead. I would record the videos. I would record one. I'd edit that same night. I think I'd render it maybe overnight or something. And it would go up like the day or 2 afterwards, generally. So I would do 2, maybe 3 videos a week, and they were done that week. Eventually, I was like a week ahead. Now I'm like 2 weeks ahead almost, which there's pros to it and there's cons. You know, if I ask questions, it's kind of a con. But it does allow me to always consistently have 4 videos a week for the most part. You know, have them spaced and at a fairly consistent day. You know, Saturday, Sunday, right now is Survival Challenge. And Tuesday, Thursday, right now is Alma. Which, again, Survival Challenge will probably go up until Farming Sim 25 is my guess. I think I'm going to take a gander. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. The original starting farm for this, by the way, where is it? Here. This is the original starting farm for this map. I moved over here because I want to do cows. Not sure if I told that story before. I just wanted to do cows. That's all. Yeah, and a lime production. Did rocks. Yeah, we had stones on this. I do remember that. I think we turned crop destruction on at some point, or we started with it. I remember doing certain changes and stuff, like adding things into this series to change things, and as I became more comfortable too playing the game, because I had probably 3 hours into Farming Sim when I recorded the first Survival Challenge, into Farming Sim 22. So I never bought it for some reason. Not sure why. I guess there was a time where I really didn't watch much. I wasn't really paying attention, obviously, to the farming sim community and see what was going on there. So we'll hop into Core Farm here real quick. Yeah, surprisingly, I actually had backups for all of these. Except for Cyion, which I'll get into. I did not have a backup for Cyion. I was kind of sad about that. I also don't have backups for the 1 year challenges. Those aren't as big of a deal. We didn't change the map much, and I don't think it wasn't a long stay onto the channel. You know, all of these were 30 episodes plus. At, you know, quite a long run too. So this, of course, was, well, Court Farm by Oxton David. This series, this is a really good one, actually. I really enjoyed this map. I'll turn flying mode on just for now. Of course, the slurry, which always was full. Always was full. We got the cows here, a little chocolate pie. I would not recommend eating it. But you do you. I mean, you do you. Of course, this was, I think, our very first harvest in here. What was it? It was probably wheat. That seems to be the normal starting crop. But eventually it became alfalfa. I think we put like linseed into here. Because this had... What was the new crops with this? Field beans, rye, and linseed. And I think rye got added later. I'll remember. Alfalfa, too. Which field beans was the huge one for us. Of course, we got the grass field, which was always the grass field. We also, this was the first series, and I think only. Well, technically, I guess Cyion had it on too. But we had the mud system mod on for this. I'm not going to say fond memories, but I do remember getting stuck a lot. We had some good times, though. We had some good times having used super strength to get ourselves unstuck, because I filled up the trailer all the way and then tried to bring it uphill in mud. Surprising it does not turn out that well. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Of course, the sheep, which we ended up doing a lot of sheep. Not sure how many here. Where's that little box at? Oh, here we go. We had 100. I thought we had more. For some reason. Oh, 100 was the max we could have. Well, we filled it up all the way. I do remember that, and then we became the clothing factory, which for most part I did production on most of our series. Yeah. This was a nice modded one because it would turn your wool or cotton straight into clothing. I used the same one on the Calm's Den 1 year challenge. Which at some point I think we might get another 1 year challenge. We'll see. We'll see. We'll kind of see when like Alma eventually would end. Not sure when. We still have a lot to go through there. A lot to be done. Oh, of course we get the fast track. I remember going very, very fast in that. Very, very fast. Of course, the Deutzfahr, which we started with. I think this was one that they released as like a separate mod free from Giants from FarmCon that year. This was July of last year when this started. This was like almost a year ago. When we first did this. Oh, of course, we got Thor. Our only horse in all of Farming Sim. Right here. We got Thor. I do remember there was something on this map I never traveled to see. The castle. I do remember like driving by it, but I don't think we really visited it that much. I remember I like traveling on this map quite a bit. The UK was a lot different from like Edgewater, which was the series before this. And just seeing the differences was huge. Oh, we can walk into this? Wow. Right, collectibles maybe in here? I remember we did a lot of collectibles and stuff. We were trying to get as many as we could. I don't remember if we got them. We didn't get them all, but we got a decent amount of them. Yeah, the castle, which was always here, but I don't know. Did I ever actually visit it in the series? I don't think so. Which was surprising. I feel like I mentioned it several times. I just didn't for some reason. Cotton, nice. Nice little cotton field. This had a lot of different unique things too, because I think like the crops blew in the wind different. Some with like certain wind effects, of course, and then Oxygen David always goes way above and beyond, like all mappers and modders do. Yeah, he always has some great maps. Which I'm sure Farming Sim 25, the next one, whenever he comes up with a map for that, you can bet we'll be doing it here as well. So, at some point, everybody watching this is going to know this. At some point, I really want to make or get more horses in some series. It might be a while from now, I don't know. And just name them like Thor 2. And to see if anybody recognizes it. That has been my goal basically ever since this series has ended. I've never did it. At some time, mark my words, it might be Farming Sim 27. I don't know. But we'll have a horse named Thor 2. It's going to be a good time. It'll be a good time. I remember it had, of course, the windmill. The campground, which we did buy, which was always nice money every once in a while. I just remember during the winter, it always had, like, snowmen around the roads and stuff. We're probably not late enough to do that. It's November, so it may not. They may not show up, but I always remember there being those. It was always just a cool little thing you'd find randomly. I had a lot of fond memories on this. I really did enjoy it. I'm honestly very surprised we didn't grow that much, though. From, like, the starting stuff. Your starting fields are 54 here, 56, and 57. And we made this one. The only fields we bought were 58 and 59. I know we had talked about buying others. But yeah, I was very surprised when I glanced back when I got this back into the save list, because it's in a completely like separate folder with my backup saves. They're not really backups, but old saves from old series. I was adding it back into the active saves for the game. I glanced in here, I'm like, wow, we didn't really buy that many fields. And I was very surprised. I was very surprised. I'm not going to lie. Which I don't think we ended with a lot of money, like 2 million, which isn't bad. Right around the same amount for Edgewater, honestly. Edgewater, by far, probably one of my most favorite maps I've did. I'm not going to lie. It's an excellent map. It really is. I remember when this map first came out, I remember waking up because I was actively checking it because I wanted to make sure I'd get the first episode out as fast as I could. I randomly checked in, Mod Hub, had it. I was like, oh, nice. It's on Mod Hub. I had to go to work, of course. Came back, and I think... Well, did I record 1 or 2 videos? I think I recorded 1. I think I recorded 1 video. I edited it. I think I had it up. Was it like the day after launch? After the map came out? Well, it was like the day after that. It was in a very short window, and I was quite happy with myself for being able to do that. It took a lot of work, but we were able to do it. I just remember we planned out, at least I planned out the starting stuff, a lot of it in advance, like starting equipment, which did make getting it started a lot easier. Oh, raw rabbits, of course, rabbits. Little bunny rabbits. I always loved these things in here. They didn't take much work, and they were worth a good amount of money. But yeah, I just remember, like, the night it came out, I stayed up a little extra late. And just basically waiting for it to process through YouTube so I could get it up the very next day. It was something. I think it was worth it. The series did quite well for, like, the channel-wise. You know, there's a lot of mods in here that you can probably see, and you'll probably never see them in a series. That's a fact, honestly. Coffee production. That's one you'll probably never see. Cookie factory. Cultivator field trader. You'll probably never see it. Donut factory. Like, there's a lot in here you probably will never see. Firewood processor. Completely forgot about that one, honestly. There's a lot of good ones in here. A lot of good mods. I just see them and then I download them. I almost never use them so half the time, but I see it, I download it. But yeah. I do want to say, since I did mention, I was in a survival challenge a little bit ago that I had considered either doing a video or a live stream for this. I decided not to do the live stream, clearly, obviously. Otherwise, he wouldn't be watching this. He'd be, well, watching it either after the fact or live. A allows everybody to see it. It's going to be a heck of a lot shorter. Because my stream idea originally was we were going to like do a full-on harvest in every single series. I don't know how well that would have been. It would have been a little bit longer than this. But I want to try to keep this somewhat compact. It's probably going to be pretty long. We're already running at 40 minutes long, at least in the recording. And, well, this is the last one, though. But, at some point, I do want to do some live streams here and there. I have to find the time, and really that's the main thing holding me back is the time to do it. It may not be Farming Sim. I do have like Construction Sim that I do want to play. I have it on PS5. Let's check this out. So I do have to say, I never made a backup for this. 100% my fault. So if there is any equipment that are missing, or we have an extra of something, I tried to make it around like episode 25, I think it was. I tried to watch that back and get it straightened away. So there might be some things missing. The fields I think are good. Yeah, production wise, I think everything's kind of sitting in a similar spot. Wasn't too hard to do because the cement was already down. Henry's Carpentry. Nice. This was one of our... Was it one of the last ones we added? No. I think it was the dessert factory. It was way over here. This was the production square, production area. We had a lot. Of course, the oil mill here. The grain mill. The pizza factory, along with the sell point, which I think this is the most messed up area for me recreating things. It looks good, but of course the dessert factory. I don't remember what we made with the dessert factory. Which one here? The strawberry sorbet? Was it strawberry jam? Maybe it was both. Of course, the greenhouse. Selling point. Sugar mill. Now, we actually had a lot of land on this at one point. So we had 56 here. We started with 52 and 53. I don't think we started with any more. We did make this small one here. And we bought 51, bought 50, bought 32, bought 56. We bought 89, 88, 86, 87, 48, 31, and 80. I think there was at one time I did own like 57 at one time. I think it was a field up here I bought at some point too. We owned a lot of fields on this. We were very, very rich. Obviously, when you have that many productions going on, it's not hard. It's really not hard. We were able to do every single like new item with this. This is, of course, the premium edition map. I think I did this a couple days after launch. I remember there being several issues for me to get it going. I remember I switched something with editing software. I ended up having to switch back, and that caused like a day worth of delay to get it going, to get the series out. And I remember, what was it? It was some issue with connecting like the planter or something to the tractor. It would cause the tractor to go all haywire, and I think I had to have the mud system mod on in this series to fix it. That, I think I've mentioned it before, I think in one of the survival challenges that are either coming out soon, because we had a little issue with premium edition in that one too, which I fixed it in a different way there. I think it's coming out soon. I don't think it's out yet. I don't really want to give too much away about it. Just in case it's not out, you know? I don't want to give spoilers here. I did record it like a week ago, so I think it might be coming out soon. Maybe the weekend of this release. Because my plan is to get this like edited down and out in a fairly short manner. I did mention doing a 1K thing, and I never did. Oh, of course, the planks here, the piano factory. We had almost a complete one, but we were just short on planks. 99.9%. Which, what's the luck? What's the luck of that? Of all the things, you know. And I think the pianos are like 90,000 in here. Of course, the wood factory. I tried a lot of mods in here actually for productions. I think 3. Yeah, it's only 3. This might be a mod building, but yeah, we were very, very incredibly rich. We were like 6 point something. This one did have the record. I think it does, actually. I think it beat like Monet, the 1 year challenge from Monet, by like a sizable margin. Which is expected. We do this many productions, and it was pretty easy money. I'm not gonna lie. We were doing I think this was preserved food, canned food. I think that's preserved. Yeah, preserved. That's it. Yeah, now of course this is the premium edition, the last big expansion for 22. And we got 25 coming out. I'm personally quite excited for it. I saw it said something about like 2 different types of rice. Spinach is being added. I think they said there's gonna be 20 plus total crops, which I'm assuming is including old ones. And they said buffaloes were being added into animals. Along with others, I think it said that, which I don't know, maybe it's like easier animals to add would be like a duck. I mean, what other ones would be easy? For some reason, I really want them to add like alpacas or something. I just think that would be fun. Maybe that's just me. It's just the first thing that came to my head. Alpacas would be fun. Yeah, I know. I saw online a lot of people the live stream, a lot of people weren't happy with it, which, I mean, when you only show a cinematic trailer that doesn't say much, I can understand that. I had to read the blog, and once I read the blog post, I was like, yeah, this looks good. I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited. I saw there's like an East Asian map, which of course I'm gonna tell you right now, that is the map we're gonna be doing in 25. First one. But I really want to do a lot of stuff with rice and stuff, which I know a lot of people, they want new crops, and which is fair, like peas and stuff. A lot of people want. I am 100% for having separate and new ways completely to farm too. So I think as long as they do a good mixture where they add some crops like peas and stuff, or we can use our old stuff, I think I'm all for it. Because I'm sure it's going to be quite expensive to do the rice harvesting and stuff. I can almost guarantee that. Almost guarantee it. Yeah. Personally, I'm quite excited. I have yet to pre-order it. I do need to do that before I forget. That way I'll make sure and have it on launch day, which is unfortunate because I think it comes out on November 12th, which is during my week that I'm usually completely away from my computer. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there yet, but 25 content will likely be a little delayed for me. I'm going to tell you that now. I'll try to put like a community post up closer to the date too. I'll likely not have any Farming Sim 25 content like right away due to that. I'll try to get it out as soon as I can, but it's I guess that's just how it works sometimes. I was really hoping it would come out like the week after or something, like the premium edition did actually. Lined up good for me. Which yeah, I think that might be everything for today. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Let me know obviously what people are thinking on 25. I do recommend looking at the blog post. There's like screenshots and stuff. The equipment looks fairly similar, like graphically. I think there's a picture with wheat in it. The wheat looks really good. That's just my opinion, but I do think it looks quite good. So obviously we'll have to wait and see, have a better idea how it turns out. Yeah, I think that is everything for today. I hope everyone enjoyed, obviously, a nice little look back on everything. In the future, I'll try to keep a lot of these backup saves, and then, when we hit other milestones, maybe we just keep adding on to it. We have more series to look back on, and, eventually we have a 10-hour video of just looking back at old series. That would be something. I almost hope we don't get that bad, though. I hope we don't have 10 hours of it. I'd have to cut it down more. I'd have to leave. We can only do 2 minutes on each or something then. But, yeah. Obviously, again, thank you everyone for 1,000. We're all almost... I think we're at 1,040. I just checked. So, still growing quite fast. So I always happy to see that stuff. So again, thank you everyone for that. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I hope to see you in the rest of the videos as well, because I think this will come out probably before the Saturday, Sunday back-to-back survival challenge. So hope to see everyone there too. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you then. Bye.